What's going on, everybody? So today we talk about either your most favorite category or your least favorite category. There really isn't any in-between feelings for something like wordplay on Jeopardy. Many of the quiz bowl type people who rely more so on the memorization of facts find something like before and after to be very difficult because it's an abstract way of thinking. For those of you who find this is a very difficult thing for you, my true answer for you on how to get better at this is practice. This is not something that is unlearnable. You're not learning the facts as much because the facts on these questions don't seem to be generally as difficult as the other facts you have to recall on a typical game of Jeopardy. One of the interesting things about these types of questions is the more you practice them, you start looking for specific things and you start coming up with solving strategies. So normally we talk about Pavlov type stuff. And yeah, there are Pavlovs here too, but most of the information that we're going after today, they're not the difficult ones. They're more of the stuff you know, but you got to put it together in a weird way. And most of the time, I mean, as Michelle just said to you, sometimes it gets real nasty. And you don't want to necessarily have that happen to you. But for the majority of the time, it's not the worst thing in the world. And when it's not the worst thing in the world, you're able to do some damage to it. As long as you have certain strategy kind of attached to it. And today, instead of talking more about we talk about Pavlovs and things you need to memorize. Today when we're talking about individual questions, we're gonna be going through ways you can be attacking it. Yeah, and the tournament to champion level wordplay categories, they're hard. We're also gonna be doing certain categories of 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words. Things like that. The shorter the words, the better chance you get. When you get to those 12 or 13-letter words, they get oh boy, they get real nasty. I had a wordplay round that I did okay on, and I had a second. I actually had 2 wordplay rounds. The second one I didn't get in too much on. Which was the short answer test. They were all short words. But the presidential possessives one I did pretty well on, which was just straight up wordplay. So if you have not gotten into the game yet, there's still time to do that. We're going to get started soon. We have around 14 players in. Not necessarily, Michelle. You'll see how it goes. Just to give anyone else a chance who wants to get on into this game, there'll be a lot of smirk, a lot of just jerkiness, because that's what I do best. But if you have not signed up to play yet, you should definitely sign up to play. You're going to be getting a PDF at the end of this, which includes a link to Sporkle. And I know I don't normally do that, but the link to Sporkle that I gave you will actually give you 31 before and after quizzes to take afterwards. So not only will you be getting 30 questions with me, you'll be getting a playlist of 31 before and after Sporkle quizzes as well to continue working on this. I thought it was the best way, because I can go on and on about wordplay. I love wordplay. But in order for you to get better at this specific topic, you gotta do the reps. And unfortunately, the time doesn't change on the show. You don't get extra time to think about the before and after question because it involves some sort of mental gymnastics. You actually have to jump on into it with the same amount of time. So you're still getting your 30 seconds. I'm not giving you more than that for these questions because you still need to get through them on the show the same exact way. Without further ado, you should be ready to go. These are all questions about before. These are all before and after questions. So let's get started. These will be fun. Depends on what you consider fun to be. First couple, nice and easy. And then it ramps up. I'm not going to lie to you. I played this set in advance. I got 28 out of 30. 2 of them I could not get to. And I consider wordplay to be one of my stronger categories. So if you're trying to beat me, my number for this game was 28. Here's question number 1. U.S. Executive Mansion. That's illegal confinement to one's own residence instead of prison. So this is a great start for everyone. 18 teams in, 18 answers, 18 of them correct. White House arrest. Good start for everyone. If this was tough, and the key to any of these questions, and I'll only go over this with the first one, is that if you could find out concentrate on one half of it. If you figure out one half of it, always try to back solve that second half, even if you don't know the clue. That's going to become especially important with the higher level clues. Use the back solving that you use in something like something birds to back solve any sort of portion of the problem that you might need. Good job. Let's move on to question number 2. Horse racing's biggest trio of events that the Queen only wears on special occasions. Some of you like your whiskey. Some of you like your whiskey perhaps too much. Because Crown Royal is a very delicious whiskey brand. But we were looking for the Triple Crown Jewels. CanCon for the Crown Royal there. But yes, it's the Crown Jewels that you're looking for. Question number 3. Savant Dr. Sean Murphy hangs up his white coat to become a Time Lord. In order to... another thing that generally happens, and this is 99% of the time, the before and after is in order of the way the clue reads. That's not hard and fast, but it happens more often than not that the before and after is going to be in the order that the clue reads. So if you see Time Lord and that's your Pavlov to Doctor Who, that should be your second half of the question because it's in the second half of the clue. So it's blank doctor. So some people had baby doctor, child doctor. Those are guesses that you could make, and that's fine. In this case, you're looking for the good doctor. Question number 4, I'm sorry. He famously said, "Give me liberty or give me death," before wearing leather as the Fonz on Happy Days. A. So some of you are fans of the folklore. Some of you fans of the folklore. Because you think of the guy who was the steel driving man. Anyone know who the steel driving man is? The steel driving man is John Henry. So you unfortunately solved that the wrong way. So a lot of people got the Fonz for Henry Winkler, so it's blank Henry. And Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death is Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry. Question number 5. Now, I was talking about sometimes at the beginning, at the end. This is a time that's a little weird. You'll see what it is, but I think you'll be fine with this. Cameron Diaz sings and dances as the magical British nanny of Ben Stiller's Desire. So don't forget, generally in the order of the first one being mentioned. So Cameron Diaz sings and dances as the magical British nanny. Everyone's favorite British nanny is Mary Poppins. So what movie has Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller that ends with the word Mary? There's something about it that I just can't think about. There's something about Mary Poppins. Question number 6. Historic New York City sports arena where Adam and Eve lived in the Bible. This one hit everyone right there. Social for everyone. I don't know if you solved it primarily through the New York City aspect or from Adam and Eve aspect. Madison Square Garden, Garden of Eden, made it pretty straightforward to all of you. 100%. Excellent job. Question number 7. Night sack for a snoozing Boy Scout. That's the set of skills available to someone like a magician. So, Emmy, I just did a little bit of research to see if I could accept your answer, and I can't. It makes me sad. Last call. It's a night snack. No, it's not. It's a night sack. A night sack for a snoozing Boy Scout, generally in a sleeping bag. And what set of skills does a magician need to have? A sleeping bag of tricks. A sleeping bag of tricks. Question number 8. Eric McCormick and Deborah Messing pal around with their new friend Lily Tomlin. So this one's harder. But it's LK Jeremy, 5 months. Holy cow. Time, where does it go? So the first thing you needed to get was Will and Grace. And Eric McCormick and Deborah Messing are in Will and Grace. So something with Grace and Lily Tomlin was going to be your next bit. And you might know the show Grace and Frankie. So it's Will and Grace and Frankie. Question number 9. Shakespeare comedy that's cooked until all the red in the steak is gone and the meat is 170 degrees internally and basically inedible. great, Emily? I love them. So, we know that when the steak is cooked until all the red is gone, it's well done. So we're looking to match the word well at the end of a Shakespeare comedy. If you can't get there from there, you're not going to wind up buzzing in on a question like this. But all's well that ends well, done. Last question in the top two. These are in the top two. These are your easier questions. They ramp up a little bit in difficulty as we go. Question number 10. South African host of The Daily Show, who came up with an American dictionary of the English language. I know at least two of you had this. And you went with the wrong first name. Maybe you were thinking of Tucker Carlson. But you were supposed to go to Trevor Noah and Noah Webster. Trevor, I'm saying that like a New Yorker. Trevor Noah Webster. So, first 10 questions are gone. Next 10 questions will be your middle row questions. So, the conceit stays the same. Again, back solve if you need to. But the trivia becomes harder. Holy crap, Anonymous Cheerer, thank you so very much. El Guapo, thank you. So the trivia gets a little bit harder. Brazilian dance, that's the Canadian province where Halifax is the capital. Might be harder to get the Brazilian dance because there's more than one. So you had to, for the most part, work backwards from the Canadian capital. The Canadian province where Halifax is the capital. Nova Scotia. So something Nova would be a dance, and in this case, it's the Bossa Nova. Bossa Nova Scotia. Question number 12. Edward Norton tries to convince his brother Edward Furlong not to hate or join up with mutants like Wolverine. So, Edward Norton, Wolverine. Edward Norton's probably most famous film is American History X. And when you think of mutants like Wolverine, you think of X-Men. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Oh my goodness. Question number 13. An ancient Egyptian collection of funerary texts that is a Robin Williams film with the message Carpe Diem. The message Carpe Diem Robin Williams film is Dead Poets Society. So, if you were thinking of dead as that operative word, it's something dead, not something birds. And it's the Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead Poets Society. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Next one, 14. Sarah Manning and her sister, clones, enter sort of a techie Twilight Zone on a Netflix anthology show. got a lot of the right parts of the second half. The Netflix Twilight Zone-ish show is Black Mirror. So we had a bunch of Orange is the New Black Mirror. But that's not the show about Sarah Manning and her sister Clones. Clones would be the clue here for Orphan Black. Orphan Black Mirror. Question number 15. Celestial body of extremely intense gravity that scores an ace in golf. Gonna end it. If you didn't get in yet, too bad, because we have another social. Black hole in one, won't you come? Excellent, excellent job, everyone. Don't forget, before and after for all of these. Question number 16. Paul McCartney's Bond theme plays as Bruce Willis fights off bad guys at the Nakatomi building. So Bond themes are generally the name of the Bond film. So, you knew that your movie was Die Hard with the Nakatomi building. So what movie that's a Bond movie ends with die? Live and Let Die. Question number 17. 2012 male stripper cinematic saga that went on to be our 70th Secretary of State. So we had some really good answers that aren't quite right. We had Magic Mike Sessions. We had Magic Mike Pence. And we also had the full Monty Hall. But we were looking for Magic Mike Pompeo. Magic Mike Pompeo. And yes, Tommy Z told us that the image here is just no good. Question number 18. Wisconsin city of Clearwater that has portrayed Temple Grandin and Shakespeare's Juliet. Clearwater is your clue here. So, if you know how to say water, if you all didn't like my accent, you're getting it now. So, Clearwater is Eau Claire. And Shakespeare's Juliet was Claire Danes for Eau Claire Danes. Question number 19. Grinning and enigmatic acquaintance of Alice in Wonderland seen in cross-section by doctors. Lots of good answers here. So everyone got that Cheshire Cat portion. But seeing something in cross-section by doctors you find in a CAT scan. Question number 20, the last of the middle rows. Madeleine L'Engle's Newbery-winning novel. That's also a vacation home. So if you're able to figure out pretty quick that Madeleine L'Engle's Newbery Award-winning novel is A Wrinkle in Time, and you're looking for a vacation home that starts with time, I have a real offer for you if you just sit through my my half an hour to 45-minute conversation about why you should buy my timeshare. A Wrinkle in Timeshare. 20 questions in, 10 to go. These are your bottom row questions, so they get a little bit tougher, but I think you'll be fine with them. 21. The site in Rome where Anita Ekberg waited in La Dolce Vita gets a nib and an ink cartridge for letter writing. So that site in Rome, even if you've never seen La Dolce Vita, if you were able to get to fountain pen for the nib and the ink cartridge, what is the most famous fountain in Rome? The most famous fountain in Rome is the Trevi Fountain. Trevi fountain pen. Question number 22. Hit the road, Jack, with the singer and pianist who also came up with the theory of evolution by natural selection. This was a social, a bottom level clue social, so great job, everyone. This is Ray Charles Darwin. A triple stumper? Oh no! Social here though. 23. Condition of being unable to think of anything to pen for a long time that becomes a neighborhood celebration. What you should be finding is that even if you were struggling at the beginning of the game, the practice and the way of thinking about these clues, you should be getting these just a little bit faster each time. Because practice is the only way you get better at something like this. It's the sound of the police. So, another social, 2 in a row. Excellent job and welcome to the Writer's Block Party. Question number 24. More difficult, but I don't think we'll get socials on this one, but I think we'll see. American poet of the Red Wheelbarrow, who's also a store selling gourmet cookware. It is something like that. I'm going to end the question now, but I have a poem to read to y'all. It's not the Red Wheelbarrow, but it's a different poem. It's a different poem. One that y'all probably know. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me. They were delicious. So sweet and so cold. This is just to say that the answer is William Carlos Williams Sonoma. Number 25. George Clooney and Will Smith team up and hunt Nazi art thieves and alien bugs. So my answer was something Men in Black. It's because I didn't know the Art Thieves movie, which is the Monuments Men in Black. The Monuments Men in Black. Question number 26. Probably my favorite one of the bunch. Crockett and Tubbs vie with Gamby and Russell for a new school position. So I'm going to call out Chase because Chase is as close as possible without being right. Sorry, Chase. Real good answer. Chase's answer is Miami Vice President. And all he had to really think about was that new school position for a second longer. Crockett and Tubbs are your two main characters on Miami Vice. The new school position that begins with Vice is principal. Miami Vice principals. Question number 27. 18th century Prussian king and military genius who was a large body of water in northern Utah. The problem with this one is pretty much the word Prussian. Because it's not the major problem that you're looking for the large body of water in northern Utah. That's the Great Salt Lake. But all of these kings are the greats, right? So there were a ton of Peter the Greats, who, as you may know, wasn't Prussia, was Russia. You were looking for Frederick the Great. Frederick the Great, Salt Lake. Question number 28. We got 3 left. 1873 Jules Verne adventure novel. That's an NBC soap opera on the air since 1965. The Jules Verne novel that's an NBC soap opera is Around the World in 80 Days. What is that soap opera that has been on forever? Like sands through an hourglass. Around the World in 80 Days of Our Lives. Question number 29. Late 19th century circus siblings who are the subject of Dostoevsky's last and some say greatest novel. So Josh's answer, by the way, which is a really great one, was the Flying Walenda Brothers Karamazov. And the Flying Walenda Brothers, they were born... Nick Walenda was born in Germany in 1905. So I can't accept it. So, really great answer. I can't take it, unfortunately. It's the Ringling Brothers. Ringling Brothers Karamazov. Here. Let's go on to the last question. Question number 30. The 20% off coupons an alliterative home store mails out includes the lyrics, "My love stands on golden sand." So let's sing. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my love stands on golden sands. Never mind, I'm done. This is Bed Bath & Beyond the Sea. Now, before you leave, don't go anywhere, because Amy's going to be giving you a PDF file. It's coming at you right now. Feel free to download this PDF. This is our before and after PDF that will give you everything that I promised you, including all the questions we went over today, which will include all the questions that we went over today. Also will include the link to all the other stuff that I was talking about before with the 31 before and after quizzes. The more you practice these, the better off you are. Thank you all so very much for being here. J-Hop, I understand that so much. Josh, welcome to the event. Glad you're here. Shakespeare comedy that's cooked until all the red in the steak is gone and the meat is 170 degrees internally and pretty disgusting. It doesn't say that, but it's also served with ketchup. Oh, steak with ketchup. You might as well just swipe at me. You might as well make me cry. Last call for answers. Get 'em on in. I will tell you right now, next week is Africa. Next week is Africa. It is geography. It is literature. It is history of Africa. Do.